Oh man, today we got a special one. We're giving you the 10 biggest NFL draft steals of the decade so far since 2020. I'm not going to keep you all long. I just want to do live, and if you want to join the stream, thank you for the community tab. Let's get started. So, number one on our list. He was the 53rd overall pick, I believe, in 2021. Right? No. No, he was the 53rd pick, I believe, in 2020. But I think he started in 2021. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Where the Philadelphia Eagles selected Jalen Hurts. And I know it's not a big steal. He was still a second-round pick. But people hated this pick. And by the way, yes, I got my Hurricane my shirt back. People hated this pick when it was announced. People were like, but you still have Carson Wentz. You still have this. Man, Doug Peterson, can he really develop a rookie? Plus, he's not going to play a whole lot. And that man led the Eagles to a freaking Super Bowl. Look, Jalen Hurts, man. I gotta give a shout out to you. I did not like the Eagles, but Jalen Hurts, and you can say, it's A.J. Brown, it's Devonta Smith, it's this, it's that. It's the running game. It's the coaching staff. It's this great defense. Should I remind you? This man was in MVP discussions. You don't do that on accident, now do you? So yeah, Jalen Hurts is number one for me. All right. Next up, we got. And by the way, he was given a contract extension. Next up, man, I got to. Let me pull this. Man, Amon-Ra St. Brown is next up on this list. Wide receiver of the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a 6th round pick from the year 2021, I think. I could be wrong again, but I'm pretty sure it was either 2021 or 2022. I didn't even I knew he was good. I knew he was good. I watched him a lot in college. I know he was a good receiver. I didn't really hear his NFL name till their last game of his rookie season when they played the Packers, and that man was going crazy. Man, Amon-Ra St. Brown, straight dog. I don't know how much receivers were picked ahead of him, but some of them were mistakes. Did I just jinx his career? Probably so. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, man, talk about a glow up. To fighting for a roster spot to being the number one wide receiver on an on an NFL franchise. Number one. Not number two, not number three, not even number 6. Number 1 for the lowly Detroit Lions. Now has a couple playoff wins under his belt. So yeah. Next up we got, y'all know his name. Y'all should at least. We got the last pick of the draft. Man. You know who I'm talking about. He goes by many names. Mr. Irrelevant. Okay, Brock the Glock. Big Brock Purdy. That's what we're talking about today. Brock Purdy. He went from Mr. Irrelevant. He went from 3rd string QB. He went from a guy that ain't nobody thought was even going to make a roster spot ever. And he turned himself into not only a quarterback who's went to 2 NFC title games, not only a guy who played in a Super Bowl, not only a guy who's made a name for himself. Brock Purdy went from the last pick in the 2022 NFL draft, I believe. He is the best quarterback from his draft class. I never thought I was going to be saying that. His first career start was against Tom Brady, and he walked him like a dog out the stadium. The game was so bad that they had to change the game. Fox Sports had to, I believe it was Fox Sports, had to change the game in the third quarter because it was 35-7. And I believe Debo got hurt in that game as well. So they didn't have Debo for the most of that game. And he didn't lose a single game until the following year. Yeah, they'll say NFC Championship against the Eagles, they lost. Bro, I don't count that. The records might count it, but I don't. That man owns the Cowboys, and he just got into the NFL. And he was lucky to get into the NFL, because if he was not picked with that last pick, ain't nobody was going to hear that man's name. And he was also in the Offensive Rookie of the Year race. He was second or third behind Garrett. Was it Garrett Wilson? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Garrett Wilson. Man, talk about a dog. All right, next up, we got somebody that a lot of people's familiar with if you watch playoff games. We got a day 3 pick by the Kansas City Chiefs, who is now cornerback 1 for the Tennessee Titans. L'Jarius Sneed. Do I even need to say his name? Didn't that man make a Pro Bowl? L'Jarius Sneed went from a guy who was expected to be like a rotational piece, a player that you can not depend on to be your number 1 or number 2, but can be a reliable guy. That man said, take what you just said and throw it out the window. And I was like, okay. That man is straight dog, bro. That man locked up Tyreek Hill in the playoffs. That man locked up Stephon Diggs in the playoffs. That man even basically he just destroyed the Ravens offense. And the Super Bowl, 49ers receivers on clamps. And now he's in Tennessee, got that big old payday. And now he's back to being dog. All right, next up, we have ourselves a guy that was also a late round pick. A late round pick again, Talanoa Hufanga. I hope I said your name right, brother. That man went from being a late round pick, I think it was like 5th or 6th, and that man went from that to pick 6ing Matthew Stafford on Monday Night Football. That man went from that to being one of the best secondary players in the entire NFL. That man went from a late round pick to shutting everybody up and going out there and balling. Just straight balling, man. Talanoa Hufanga was the best player in a secondary of a Super Bowl caliber team. Come on now. Hufanga is a dog. Straight dogness out of him. Man, that, bruh. Man. Hufanga, man. That man looks like Troy Polamalu and plays like Troy Polamalu. Good job, Hufanga. Next up, we got a late round pick from the Seattle Seahawks, staying within division. And he helped the Seahawks make countless playoff appearances. Hey, PM, I'm assuming that you might be Purple Marcus. I'm not sure. If you are, shout out to you. And if you're not, still shout out to you. Trevor, gonna be a beast. I'm assuming you're talking about Trevor Penning. Look, I just hope you are right. I just hope you're right. All right. But next up, next on the list is, come on, do I even need to say his name? He was the best player in a secondary with Jamal Adams on the team, with Quandre Diggs on the team. I know they're both not on the team anymore. Give me my boy Tariq Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks. He's the next draft steal of the decade on this list. Woo! That man went from being like maybe a rotational piece like L'Jarius Sneed was, and a guy like that you can count on but not depend on, basically, type of guys. That man had 6 interceptions his rookie year. Led the NFL, well, tied the NFL lead with my boy C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And that boy is a demon, bro. That boy is a demon. You see, Tariq Woolen is the number 1 cornerback on a playoff caliber team. Tariq Woolen is one of the best ball hawks in all of the NFL. That man is straight dogness. Yeah. Oh my god. My fault, y'all. I had a long day. So yeah, he's next on my list. Next up on this list, center, who was graded as the best offensive lineman in the NFL his rookie year. And he wasn't even a first-round pick. He was a center for the best team in the AFC. He's a center for a Super Bowl team. He has 2 rings now. You know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this. He was almost not even drafted in the second round. Give me Creed Humphrey, center of the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, this is their second, well, their first player is a former Chief now, but this is the second player that they drafted that makes this list. Some teams just know how to draft, some teams don't. But the Chiefs are one that can draft, that do know how to draft, because Creed Humphrey is number one. He's the best center in the NFL. Hands down. And if you don't even want to go there, top 2, top 3, or top 4. I'm giving you those options. Creed Humphrey has been the most reliable center in the NFL. That man makes sure that nobody touches Patrick Mahomes' hair on his head. That man protects him so nicely. Creed Humphrey is next on the list. And next up, we have somebody who is a capable now we have a player who was drafted at 102 overall in his draft class. A player that not a lot of people had expectations. But he made sure to tell them people to shut up. Because next we got Pittsburgh Steelers outside linebacker Alex Highsmith. He helped form one of the best linebacker duos with him and TJ Watt. And Patrick Queen just got there, so we don't even know how good he will be yet with Patrick Queen alongside him. The Steelers have one of the best defenses in all the NFL, and Alex Highsmith is a big reason for that. Highsmith, goated, straight goated. That man, he's a ball hawk at linebacker. He can make a play. He can hit you so hard that you're crying for your mom on the sideline. Yeah, Alex Highsmith next. Now I don't really have to say much about him now. Next up on the list, let me see. All right, next up, come on now. You really thought he was not making this list? If you thought that, then I don't know what to tell you. All right, here we go. Let's see what that's. All right, next up on the list, come on now. 5th round pick, LA Rams last year. He was known to be a guy that had lots of injury issues. Weird name, weird backstory. And yet he broke rookie records as a wide receiver. You know his name? Puka Nacua is next on the list. He was their number 1 receiver when Cooper Kupp was out, getting targeted 15 times a game. Even when Cooper Kupp returned, you could still argue Puka Nacua was the better receiver. Puka Nacua, when I look at him, straight bunny, straight dog, straight amazing receiver. One of the best receivers from last year's draft class. And he made sure to remember that he's a 5th round pick. And he played like he's a 1st round pick. He played like he was a top 5 overall pick. That's how good Puka Nacua was. Next up, we got the 51st pick in the 2021 draft, I think. Dallas Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs. As much as I hate Dallas, the brother of Stephon Diggs, he even played wide receiver in the Pro Bowl against Stephon Diggs when Stephon Diggs was playing corner, vice versa. Trayvon Diggs made sure to remember that he was a 2nd round pick, and he turned that around with like 7 or 8 interceptions his 2nd year. Trayvon Diggs was a beast. As much as I hate the Cowboys, he was a beast. Trayvon Diggs made sure to always remember when he was drafted. Yeah. Next on the list, we have all right. All right, guys, hold on. I think that might be it. That's gonna end the show, folks. I gotta do something real quick. But yeah. So I hope you like the stream, subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subs, and trust me, I got something special planned for when we get 100 subs. And as always, take care, love, and I'm out.